Hey, how's everybody doing? James Merrifield here with another segment on leadership. This segment is called Results-Driven Leadership. So we're going to get into what drives you to excel. For me, it's people. For me, it's results. For me, it's winning. For me, it's creating just a culture, of great leaders and great people to be around. As far as what drives you to excel, these are questions that you have to ask yourself. These are things that definitely will define, you and your area of leadership. One of the biggest things that I have to tell you as far as results-driven leadership is when you're results-driven, it doesn't take a whole lot of mind power to get one to the finish line. It is my belief that those with the biggest heart, they're going to finish first. Okay? And that's something that you're going to have to embrace. So it's not necessarily book smarts that get a person to where they want to go in life. As a matter of fact, the most billionaires and the most millionaires on the face of the earth, they weren't the A students, the B students. They didn't go to college. They were basically the dropouts. They had something else other than book smarts. They had heart. I too come from that school. I have, for whatever reason, I've always felt that I wasn't the smartest individual. I'm not saying I'm stupid or I'm dumb. What I'm saying is that I just didn't feel that I was as smart as some people, and my heart is what has always led me to getting to where I needed to go. It took me as far as it took me everywhere. It took me everywhere. It took me everywhere. Like just following my heart. So the heart will definitely take you there. When you're results driven in your leadership, you don't have to be the biggest book smart guy. I mean, that's basically what you do is you can go ahead and find those people. For them to work for you, and they can do the book smart kind of things. But as far as results driven leadership, driving really comes down to just heart. It comes down to you being strong about your will and just driving it home no matter what, knowing that, one way or another, I'm going to get there, so the heart will take you there. Drive definitely must be taught. That is something that's very, very important and something that you understand. Some people are born with the drive, but for the most part, drive must be taught, and it must be taught through example. So leadership is going to have to, show that drive. Leadership is going to have to be that engine that just doesn't stop. And the more that you can expose your people to that drive, the more, they're going to want to excel. The more they're going to want to move forward. The more they're going to want for themselves, and the more they're going to be able to, produce, for you as the leader. I know that the more people that I help succeed, the more people I wanted to succeed. It just made me feel good, to drive people. My style is very coach-like. And, you see some of the best coaches out there, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick. These are men that just know how to get it done. And I really admire that. They're so results-driven in their leadership. I mean, they just get it done. I mean, if you take a look at Bill Belichick and Tom Brady over the course of the last, good Lord, 20 years, I mean, whether you're a Patriot fan or not, this is about who's your favorite team. This is about getting it done. And those men right there, they're so results driven that if you see the two of their faces side by side, they're totally on the same page. It's like they don't even have to talk to each other anymore. They even over the course of the last few years, Tom Brady, if you think about it, even starts to look like Bill Belichick. Like his facial expressions are like Bill's. In their brain, they're self-driven. In their mind, they're self-driven, and you can see it. I think 6 Super Bowls later, they will stop at nothing to get the job done. So, really, once again, the more people that you can get to succeed, I think the more, results driven you will become, because you prove to yourself that, hey, in your position of leadership, that I can teach people, I can groom people. Now, one thing I will tell you, and this is a very, very difficult conversation that I had with a past vice president that I worked with. He would come in, he would see me, and he would tell me, James, you're doing such a great job and everything is going well, and I knew that. However, there is no such thing as a perfect leader. There's always opportunities, and he would tell me, he would ask me questions and I would answer the questions correctly, and he would say, James, I know that you know that, James. He would say, but do your people know that? And I think after hearing that about 2 or 3 times, I finally said, Mr. Vice President, I says, there are many things that I can teach people. You can teach people book smarts. You can teach people, how to do LMS modules. You can teach people through tutorials. But the one thing that is going to be very difficult to teach is heart. You will either have heart or you will not. And that goes the same thing that maybe you have tried out for a team before, and you found that it just wasn't for you. It wasn't in your heart. Maybe you tried out for a certain club or something, and it didn't work out. It's because it wasn't in your heart. So that being said, leadership really is all about heart. Staying driven and being results driven, it comes from the heart. Like, you have to really have a powerful, really powerful a state of mind and a powerful heart to go along with that, to drive forward, and to push through onto the other side. So, staying results driven, everybody. Exercise your will to win daily, and I guarantee it. That mentality will definitely, set in. So anyhow, everybody, James Merrifield here. If you haven't picked up A New Way to Lead yet, please go get that book. You're gonna love A New Way to Lead. I guarantee it. I articulated everything very well. There's about 35 chapters in that book that range from all sorts of different topics of leadership. I guarantee it. After you read that book, you will most definitely be much more better and more well equipped, to embrace a role of leadership. This book is definitely, it's not just for old timers that have been in leadership for a long time. I guarantee it, those old timers will take away some golden nuggets. But the real big thing I guarantee is that the new millennial, the new leader that's stepping into the arena, there's several gold nuggets in there. And if you're going to be a leader of the future, there are definitely some key principles in A New Way to Lead that you would have to embrace in order to achieve that. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you back on the other side. Thank you.